So thank you all for coming. I want to share with you today a little bit about my last year. I have been working with platform engineers teams, and well, I would like to thank you for the organization as well. And so let's get started. First, a quick introduction about myself. I'm from Brazil. My name is Matheus. These are my social medias. I'm working as a head of technology at PicPay, which is a fintech. So, yeah. A brief overview about PicPay. PicPay had completed 10 years this year, and we have 60 million users right now, and we transact 6.8 billion reais per month. So yes, we are working on a big scale. And well, the idea here is to tell for you how is being doing this journey to structure platform teams inside PicPay and give you some insights, all right? So the first question is, what is a platform? But now, just out of curiosity here, who is working right now with platform teams or have worked before? Please raise your hand. Okay, there's someone. And are you enjoying the experience of working with that type of teams? No? Great. Okay, so when we heard the platform word itself, we could think about a train station or an oil ring platform or even a deck river. And in Brazil, we have this type of shoes with a large soil that we call as well as a platform shoe. That's very popular there. So this is something that we can refer when we say platform. But when it comes to the software world, defining a platform is kind of an abstraction definition. It's hard to tell what is a platform itself, but I like the definition of Evan Butcher. He says, a digital platform is a foundation of self-services, APIs, tools, services, knowledge, and support, which are arranged as a compelling internal products. Okay, this is very interesting, but how can we translate that to the real world? How can we structure teams to deliver platform for other people, for other developers? So we are going to talk a lot about internal developers, internal developed platforms, okay? But first, I have to go back a few steps to back and tells you a story that about the majority of the startups. I don't know if you are familiar with the stages of the startups, but yeah, we have 3 common stages of startups in the life cycle. Okay, the first stage of a startup is the garage stage, which is the moment that the startup is founded, and at this moment we have few people working on, and the person act like team. So the knowledge that the asset knowledge is by the people itself. So it's probably the 1 or 2 founders that are developing a product, and then they have a lot of experimentation during this period to validate the product if it fits well with the market or not. And during this journey, they will find the target audience, and if everything goes fine, probably the startup will not shut down in less than 2 years, so that's a good thing. And after that, we go to the second stage, which is the scale-up stage, is when we start to compose engineer teams. So we don't have just one person that knows everything, and so we distribute the knowledge between engineer teams, and we have to take care with security, infrastructure concerns to bring reliability to the product itself that this startup is working on. And the main point here, the main goal of this stage is expand the user base and establish as a good product in the market. And all right, so then the next stage is the big leagues. So is when your startup is already very consolidated in the market, and then you are fighting for the top of the marketing or a big share of this market, and a new problem becomes like computer problems, regulatory issues, compliance, orchestrate all the ecosystem between the technologies that has been built so far. So, and of course, we need to take care of the costs to stay with sustainable growth as well. So these are the 3 stages of a common startup that you probably will see and live. And as you can see here, the platform teams emerge between the stage 2 and the stage 3 of a company. That means that can we only have platform teams in medium to big companies? This is not that necessary. This depends a lot of any variables, but I haven't seen yet a startup at the stage 1 starting with a platform team, because at this moment in particular, they are working on MVP products, so they need to change things fast, and the standards and the best practices will not be the center of the attention at this moment. So yes, we kind of see more platform teams between the stage 2 and 3. All right. So this is one big picture what should be a company between those 2 stages, the stage 2 and stage 3. It is very similar with the PicPay moment. We have a lot of technologies to resolve different problems or even the same problems, but the squads don't know that exists some technology, so they are created their own stack. We have too many CI/CD tools occurring over the teams because they want to be fast and autonomous, but we are getting some problems when we are trying to implement if as a code quality SaaS monitoring across the company with a baseline between all the squads. It tends to be sort of levels between the teams. If you have a team that has a lot of middle seniors, developers, it's very different to work with than when you have some juniors and something like that. So yeah, it's complicated at scale to work with all that stack of technology at the same time. So the platform teams is coming for, the promise is we can help you to reduce this cognitive load. So it's not a big problem. Teams do not take care of all, but platform teams has this mission since they start. So they want to decrease the cognitive load to improve the developer experience during daily tasks. So we spoke a little bit about why to start. This is why companies are starting to create new platform things, because it's hard to orchestrate all those things, and we accumulate along the years with these 3 stages, we accumulate some technical debts. So platform teams has to help the feature teams to do that. And well, where to start? We always have to keep in mind that there is a lot of ways to start a platform team. So, but one of the benefits is provide automation and standards. We want to figure out how can we provide our platform services in the way that a dev don't need to open Jira tickets to do their jobs, or Zendesk tickets or whatever. So we need to make a self-service experience as well, and we have to create integrations without friction, which means at the beginning, don't over-engineer too much your platform. Keep it simple as possible and give flexibility during the time that you will get some maturity level with the platform. So continuing with where to start, we can start with platform to infrastructure, observability, understand what are the common functions that you can provide as a service for your teams, or even look for the development cycle of the company itself. And this is where I jump in, because this was what I did in this last year, is working inside this development cycle. So I will show to you a pretty common image about the development lifecycle management. And we did an exercise to understand where is the pain points here for the developers around how they coding, how they can build, test, deliver the software, and operate them, okay? So who did this for us? We have a product design team and a product manager team that take a lot of surveys and consolidate that data, and we understand these pain points. So this is what we were talking yesterday. This is very different to do when a developer asks to another developer what he needs. Is very different than when you have a technique or approaches, skills to do a survey like a product design. They will not be so direct with the question, but they can extract valuable data, powerful insights into the surveys after that. So at PicPay, we understand that we should begin for the 2 points, the start of the cycle, the development cycle, the coding, because people are not so sure how they can begin to create microservices, thinking about, oh, I have 4 languages here at PicPay. If I choose one, I have to pick as well a framework. So if I pick Java, if I am developer Java, who I should choose? Spring Boot, Quarkus, whatever. So people are a little confused at this moment. And then after they release this code, they are concerned about how can I make sure that I'm not break anything in the chain of the microservices, I'm not impacting too much. So we focus on these 2 steps, and then we founded an internal developer platform team, which has about 8 people working on that. So we have a product manager, we have developers and people who has ops in the stack as well. And we start this experimentation. To do all that, as I said, we don't reinvent the wheel. So we look for the market and we see a pretty cool tool that is Backstage. This is an open source tool, which gives us a lot of features that answers our needs. And it gives us some flexibility to create our own plugins as well if we need. So the software team, the software catalog is the discovery helps us to discover the ecosystem. What are the microservices that already exist in PicPay? We have thousands of microservices to do and a lot of types of things to do. And we can understand who is the team that takes care of this service. We have templates that help us in the standardization of the platform as well. So when a dev needs to create a new microservice, we deliver for him a baseline repository with all the structures that we expect that should be the PicPay patterns. These templates are made not by the internal developed platform team, but for the skill communities that we have inside PicPay. And also, we delivered with this template, with this repository, a CI/CD pipeline already integrated. So this is a cool feature as well. And we give visibility about data metrics, so to continuous improvement. So we have at different levels. People can see the data metrics inside one each microservice, or they can see over their business unit how is the metrics, the 4 key metrics of Accelerate, and even see the PicPay overall metrics. So this is very cool feature that we can follow up the improvements that we are having. And yeah, we have tools integrated, like we can see the health of Kubernetes clusters, Sonar metrics, and so on. So this team is working only for this. So they are focused on backstage improvement and give visibility and improve the developer experience through that. All right. So as I mentioned, we deliver when a developer creates a microservice through a template, he receives a CI/CD pipeline integrated already. So we understood at the moment that it will be necessary to work this feature as a product apart. So we created a team named CI/CD platform team to focus on this pipeline, because what we want to achieve with that is reduce all the over tools that we had at the moment inside the squads. We had about 7 CI/CD tools to do the same thing. So the idea here is unify this pipeline, and it comes to a huge challenge, because we have to balance how do we want to be rigid or flexible. So it's very challenging to do that. And we have here Samatorio that he's made a huge important role in that team at the time. And to resolve that, we choose a framework that can give us the flexibility to define our pipeline default, our workflow default, that is Tecton. So we use Tecton for CI tool, and this can help us to execute tasks that we understand that is necessary for everything despite the language that are using or the needs that they have. They must run some mandatory tasks in order to attend the regulatory issues, compliance, and something like that, security. And Tecton gives us the flexibility to add custom tasks as well. So squads that has heavily expert users, they can build their needs, they specify things of the day and integrate inside the pipeline. So we can attend the expert users, and we have a golden path for new users and just regular users that they want just deliver the code to the environment production, okay? And ArcCD is in charge of the continuous deployment. He enables us to work with GitOps, so it's a pretty cool and very popular tool to do that. All right, so for last, we had tests, and we are figuring how to work in how to scale tests in a company that has 1,000 engineers. This is a lot, and some people just thinking about tests, unit tests, but we have a lot of things to understand that is more than for quality. So we built a team named Test Automation Platform Team. They their mission is promote quality as a discipline, is kind of what we are trying to do as a DevOps as well. This is one of the discussions that we had yesterday as well about DevOps should be a role or not. It's kind of the quality, we have the same discussion. They have the governance over the tools of quality as well. They promote guidelines. They're working as an enable team for feature teams to help us improve the experience of quality of code. And not only that, we are trying to implement trunk-based development. So this team looks for data and metrics around PR size and something like that, branch lifetime, and so this is why, as well, this team is not formed only by QAs engineers, but we have developers and infrastructure engineers. They must be inside this composition as well, because it's not only about writing tests. Okay, so some advice that I have and I have learned so far. So when you are working with platform, don't be so specific. It means don't try to make everyone happy. It will always be somebody which is not so happy with the platform, but you can't be so specific to attend one squad. You have to keep in mind that you must impact more squads that you can. Okay. So you are trying to hear that at the moment, but treat the platform as a product. As I said, if you have the chance to put a product manager there, collect metrics about adoption, feedback, here your customer is very important to improve the platform. And this leads us to the next point, that is communication and support. So give for the users and for the not users the visibility of your roadmap. What are the release changes that you are doing? Well, and it's a long run. It's not a half marathon or a marathon. It's an Ironman when we are working with platform. So what I mean by that is it takes time to collect the results of a platform. So we will have some results, positive or not, in a period of 6 months or 1 year if we are doing something right or doing something wrong. Is a slow pace to do. Other advice that I want to give you is work with solid contracts. That is important. You don't want to break your platform every new release. So this is we're gonna take the users mad. So be very careful when you will update some endpoint or something like that. And as I said, platforms are composed by generalists and not by specialists. So try to compose your teams with the T-shaped approach. This is very important as well. And well, I think that's it. These are some references that I use for this material, for this presentation, and in my daily basis as well. And thank you so much, guys.
Thanks, Matheus. We have time for some questions, if you have them. Just raise your hand. We'll get the mic to you. There we go. There's one. We can always count on you. Great.
No problem. Great talk. One thing that I have as a question, already write down this question, is I hear a lot about backstage, but my doubt is how difficult it's to build the plugins. And in this context is my platform team, it's basically JavaScript and TypeScript. They are backend developers. Backstage, it's like front end, nice to see. How difficult it will be for a guy that works in JavaScript and TypeScript, backend, to build a plugin? They need some front end knowledge, or tell me your experience.
Oh,
please.
yeah. Great question. Thank you. Well, we built some plugins, like the Dora metrics visualization is one that we built inside. There is some added store, but we decided to work inside this. And it's a work effort between some developers. So we have some front developers that can make the visualization, and as I understood, it's not so hard but the hardest part is to collect the metrics and make a BFF in the middle of the backstage and the ecosystem that we have. This is the main challenge. And one thing that we face that probably will occur to you if you are working with a lot of repositories in GitHub. We are facing some problems with rate limit as well to render some information of the microservice. So we are trying to understand how we can make some workaround between some plugins to work that. Thank you.
Okay, that means that you already face a bottleneck with backstage. For example, in my case, I have 500 repositories, so I will crash backstage, right? Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? No? Okay, then I think we're good.
All right.
Thank you,
so much,
Matheus.
guys.
Thank you so much.
Obrigado.